am Kim Kesty, Creative Director here at Fun Stamper's Journey, joining you for yet another episode of Tools, Tips, and Techniques. That's 3 T's, which is why we call it T3. So welcome, and we also broadcast normally on Tuesdays, so that's even another T. What do you know? Welcome, welcome. Whether you are watching us on Facebook Live or you are watching us on YouTube, welcome. I want to also address the fact that we have a lot of new viewers lately, so I'm super excited. So that means either our regular viewers are sharing the videos, which is awesome, or we're just seeing new traffic come to the site. So either way, super excited about that. So again, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about using one product. It is, I consider it a tool. Some people might consider it something else. It is part of our Journey Media collection, and it is a really fun stencil. And I'm going to show you 3 different ways to use it, and in fact 3 different ways to actually color the medium once we do the stenciling. So let's take a look at what I've got here. I have got our polka dot wall stencil. I don't know if you can get much more classic than that. Just good old polka dots. They're great for a variety of occasions. I do have 3 finished projects because once I start using the stencil, especially when I marry it with our Journey modeling paste, which is what I have right here, I figure, hey, once you've got the paste out and you've got the mess going, you might as well just make more than one card, right? Am I right about that? Yes. Okay, so what I've got is our stencil here, and I've got 3 different things I'm actually going to stencil on. I'm going to start with just your basic whipped cream cardstock. So this is cut approximately the size of a card front. So I'm just going to grab that and again start with just the basics. So here's my Journey modeling paste, and this is the little cardboard lid. I try to keep that tucked in there. That helps seal the modeling paste so it doesn't dry out. It did have a foil cover too, which I already removed, so that's already gone. The modeling paste is really, really good stuff. It is high quality, excellent texture, just the right amount of, you know, stiffness to it for any kind of projects you want to use. And it is perfect married with our stencils. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use our Journey spatula here and just grab up some modeling paste. I don't need much more than actually fits about on the spatula, so I guess you could call it 1 scoop or something. And then I'm just going to tap it down, straight down on my stencil. And the great thing about this is once you start spreading it, is that I don't really have to tape my stencil down because this has got enough tackiness that it's just going to help, you know, keep my stencil in place on my paper. So what I'm doing is I'm tapping down where I kind of want to lay a little pile of the modeling paste, and then I'm just coming back and using the edge of my spatula and scraping it. You'll see when I go to my next piece of paper that I'm not as worried about that. Go ahead and put it back in the modeling paste and just come back one more time and just give a nice even scrape. And that does 2 things. One, it cleans off the extra paste from my stencil, but it also gives me a nice flat surface here. Move on to my second surface, and this time I'm just going to use a piece of colored cardstock. I thought, well, you know, we did one on plain white. It would be fun to come back and do a little different version on colored cardstock and see what different effects we can come up with. So same type of technique, but again, when I come to this one I'm not going to be as worried about filling every single circle in, because I sort of had the idea that because I'm using cool pool cardstock, that this is going to give me a little bit of a bubbly look. So I'm sort of picturing some sort of a, you know, maybe ocean themed card or something like that. So you can see here that I'm not worried about completing all of my circles. I like that some of them are incomplete. So super fun, love that. So far so good, right? Super easy. I'm going to set that one aside. Now one more thing I wanted to play with. I thought this was kind of fun. This is one of the prints that we did recently. We had our Easter Blessings launch show, and one of our designers, Robin, did a whole bunch of prints from the gel press. So this is just one of those gel press prints. Oh gosh, I think she must have done about 10 or 12 during the show. And so when we have extra prints like this just hanging around, don't forget to use them. Pick them up out of your stash, because again, gel press is one of those things where when you've got it going and you've got the mess out, more than likely you're making more than one print for one project. So if you're anything like me and you kind of experiment with the gel press, you probably have a good stack of prints, you know, hanging around in your craft room somewhere. So this is one of those opportunities I thought, you know, grab one of those prints, let's see what we can do with it. Now it is pretty gorgeous all on its own, but you know what? One more layer of media can never be a bad thing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and, again, just take some of the modeling paste out. and start adding one more layer of dots to this really cute background. I kind of had in mind I wanted to try a few different coloring techniques, so I was interested to see what the modeling paste looked like on the different surfaces. So whether it was cardstock or in this case a mixed media panel. All right, so let's peel that up. This is really fun. And what was interesting about this piece is when I did have the piece that dried, you can even see on the video that the modeling paste doesn't quite cover all of the color in there, right? You're seeing some of the color shine through. Let me grab the one I did earlier that's dry. It was another scrap, so it's obviously not exact same colors. But see how it's kind of got that translucent quality? Because there's so much yummy pigment on the gel press print that it doesn't want, the modeling paste doesn't want to cover quite as well as it does on the colored cardstock, for example. It looks a lot more white here, right? But this is exactly the same cardstock, nothing done to it. And this one right here, as you can see as it dries, you're going to see more of that color pop through. So I thought that was fun and interesting. And again, we're going to do some more fun things to this in just a minute. But now I'm going to bring back my dried pieces. So, like I said, once you've got this going, might as well put the cap on this paste real quick. So now you've got your 3 prints. These are the ones that I have dry. And now it's like, okay, what can I do now? What can I do fun to these stencil pieces to add color, to add another layer, to add some dimension? Because, you know, it's all about getting your craft on and figuring out, you know, what's the fun things to do once you have the basics done. So the first thing I'm going to do with my white panel is add some pan pastel. And I'm not kidding you, this is about the easiest possible thing you can do to color this modeling paste, and you're going to love how it turns out. So I grabbed my Party Pop pastel, and I've actually taken some of my blues out of there. These 2 blues came from the Party Pop palette. Those of you who are not familiar with our pan pastels, that's why I wanted to kind of show this, because they come in this really kind of cool plastic clamshell, and that's where you can store your pastels in there. And they come in 4 different color families. So you can see why this one's called Party Pop, because it's super bright and super fun. And again, it has these 2 brighter blues in it also. But I wanted one more shade of blue because I'm going to go for kind of an ombre look here. So this lighter blue is from our Confectionery Days palette. So again, mix and match your palettes, of course. We have 4 different palettes of pan pastels, so you're going to get such an amazing variety of colors. You will have so much fun. So I'm going to grab up, this is also the soft tool that comes with every one of our palettes of pan pastels. This is like a tongue twister, palettes of pan pastels. So this is a special kind of sponge, especially formulated to work with the pastels. So be sure to use the sponge that comes with the kit. And again, I'm just grabbing up some of this darker, richer blue, and I'm just swiping it right onto the modeling paste. I mean, wow, already, right? That modeling paste just really grabs up that pan pastel color and just kind of absorbs it. And you can see that the cardstock in between also absorbs it, but not at the same rate. It's the modeling paste that this guy really loves. So I'm going to go around with my medium color. I'm actually going to do medium along the bottom. I said ombre, so this is not really a true ombre, because it would have gone dark to light, but that's okay. So again, just gently work the sponge, get that color all mixed in there. And now I can come back. In fact, I can even use the same sponge. It doesn't matter. It's not going to contaminate my pan pastel. So I'm going to pick up the lightest blue now, and this is going to kind of work to blend both of these blues together. So you can see that I can go right over the darker blue and just do a beautiful blend, and right over the medium blue. All right, super fun. Well, the pan pastel is slightly dusty, but if you just give it a little flick, you don't really need any other kind of sealer or anything on it. It's going to take a few minutes to set totally, but after that it's going to be just ready for our project. So isn't that pretty? I just love that look. Now just imagine if you have any of our other stencils. We have all kinds of fun ones. We have flowers and vines and twigs and leaves and all kinds of fun things. Just picture any of our stencils with the modeling paste with a whole variety of pan pastel colors on them. Oh my gosh, so much fun and so easy. Anybody can do this, guys, seriously. Okay, let me move my pastel aside. I probably will even move this paper. I'll save this for later, so our next piece doesn't get all dusty. And if you do want to kind of clean up your little sponge, if it's got a little extra dust, you can just take a normal old paper towel and just kind of wipe it on there. And then that'll take all the excess off your little soft tool there. All right, so let's see. Let's grab our Cool Pool panel now. Now this one's fun. This has got just the solid color cardstock with a paste on top. And this time I'm going to take some of the matching ink. So this is Cool Pool cardstock, and this is the matching Cool Pool ink. And I just grabbed one of our large daubers, and I thought, okay, let's just see what happens when we add ink instead of pan pastel to the modeling paste. You know, is it going to take as much ink? Not as much. I do know that this ink is going to color the background of the cardstock, so I think it's going to be really fun. Now you just come in with a light circular motion and just start going right over that modeling paste. And again, I did mention that I kind of wanted a bubbly, oceany type of look, so that's what I'm going for here. Now what I love about this is it's exactly what I was just talking about. The actual modeling paste does not pick up as much color as the pan pastel did. Remember, here's the blue guy, so that picked up a lot of color, but it's just a much softer effect, and I just love it. So the modeling paste is picking up some of that Cool Pool, but the most of the ink is going on the background of the card. So you can see we've got a really amazing blended ink look here now. And I'm actually going to stop right there because I don't want it any more blended than that. You could possibly take like 2 shades of blue. Maybe you could take Beach Breeze or Turbo Teal, a little bit darker, you know, blue in the same family, and add some more shading if you want. But I absolutely love how this is turned out right here. So there is technique number 2 for adding color to your modeling paste. Just soft and pretty and bubbly, and this one's definitely going to have an ocean theme for that card. Super fun. I'll bring that back in a minute. Okay, now the last one. This is going to be really kind of a dramatic effect, I hope. So what I'm going to do is, on this one, because I really don't want to cover a lot of the background of that really fun gel press, you know, color that's already there. So I thought, what if I took my stencil and brought my stencil back in and lined it up? So now I'm just, you know, having the little modeling paste dots showing here. And this time I wanted to add some pink color on top. And I did try our Watermelon Fusion from Fun Stamper's Journey. But then I remembered that we also have this really fun Jane Davenport ink. By the way, cutest container ever, right? So Jane has, I think about 12 different inks. I guess I should have counted before I came on. But she has the same type of formula as our ink. So it's a fusion ink also. She calls it a hybrid ink. Same thing. So it's the same formula as all of our Fun Stamper's Journey inks, but it's just some brand new colors for you to play with. So they're going to work exactly the same way. They just give you a different variety of colors. So this particular one is called Scallop Shell, and it's just a little bit deeper than our watermelon. So I thought it would be fun to play with. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this lid off here. I guess we have to hold it the right way. And isn't it cute that it's a little shell shape? I just love it. So now I've got everything kind of masked with the stencil. And I'm just going to take my ink pad and go directly to my modeling paste. Now it's going to look really dark at first, but don't panic. Again, I'm just kind of rubbing it in. And you will want to clean your stencil after this. You can use our True Color Fusion ink cleaner for it if it doesn't come out with soap and water. Now because I'm going directly from the ink pad, you notice that I don't have all those circles filled in, and it's perfectly fine. Because now I'm going to bring a normal piece of, this is just paper towel. I can remove the stencil now. But because my dots aren't super even, I thought, you know what, let's grab a piece of paper towel and kind of work that ink in. And it's also going to slightly spread to my background, which I think is really cool because it really kind of unifies the whole look. It brings that color tone to my entire background. Isn't that just pretty? I love how it looks. So the modeling paste is going to keep that ink just wet enough, long enough, for you to come in with your paper towel and just kind of smooth the whole thing out. I love that, like, can you check it out here where it had some of that gel press back there? I love how the ink is just slightly darkened that printing from the gel press. Whoa, it's like focus, focus. So isn't that fun? So just kind of definitely more of a funky look, definitely more of a, you know, different look. But I think from going from our regular stenciling, let me pull this one back, to adding that ink, wow, it really makes those dots pop. Love it, love it. Okay, so here are 3 different versions of our modeling paste. Now I bet you might want to see some finished projects. What do you guys think? Is that a yes or a no? I'll be waiting for some comments. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have to wait for comments. I know you guys are out there commenting. And thanks again to Miss Lynn who's helping moderate for us. So let's see project number 1. This is the blue one with the polka dots. So look how fun. The polka dots are perfect for a birthday theme. I used one of my favorite stamp sets in the birthday category that's called Let's Eat Cake. Super fun. So this particular cake was actually stamped on another scrap of a gel press print. So if you can kind of picture that was a earlier gel press print. But look how fun, just to stamp the cake on there, cut it out a little bit, simple sentiment, and we are good to go. So love that birthday one. And then how about my ocean themed one? So here is the original beginning piece, and here is the finished card. I'll just tuck it underneath. So super fun. This was one of the newer shell sets that we have called Beach Treasures. So these shells are so pretty and they're just drawn so beautifully that they really don't need a lot of additional color on them. And this guy even has a matching die. So I cut that out with a matching die and just use this really cute sentiment from Remarkable You. Matter of fact, it says you are remarkable. Perfect. So I thought it was really kind of fun to do with the shell because or the starfish, I should say, because shells and starfish are all different and remarkable. So super fun. All right, so how about the crazy one? What did we do with the crazy guy? Now, because this has so much action on it, I really didn't need a lot of extra pizzazz on the finished card, so I kept it pretty simple. I went ahead and used another sentiment from another set I love called Spread Love, as a matter of fact. It's got some great sentiments on it, also with a matching die. So to finish this, all I did was stamp the sentiment in black, added a little bit of washi tape, then I used a little scrap of this border. It's actually one I had cut earlier for a different project from our Border Essentials. You see that little die cut piece? So again, if you keep a little dish of extra die cut pieces or scraps from other projects, time to pull those out and use those for one of your projects. So super simple way to finish that card. And all 3 of my finished cards, I'll bring them all 3 back here real quick, are embellished with our fashion silver. So our little fun little silver dots here. I'm going to try to get these all in the frame. So you can see that they're just the perfect little accents for any style of card, really. So super fun. What do you guys think? Are you inspired and ready to get some of your stencils out and get your modeling paste out and go to town trying some different fun new techniques? I hope that I've inspired you to try out some of our tools, like our little spatula, which is, by the way, really great and flexible. You can use that for a lot of things. Or our pen pastels, or our stencils, or any of the products that I used today. Of course, if you have questions about any of those, you can visit us at our website at funstampersjourney.com. Check it out. We are always happy to help. And I hope that you have a great Tuesday and you have a great week crafting. And as always, we enjoy having you, and we will see you next time.